Chapter 10 sticky notes, continuing on with page 264 and 265. So one more thing about genetically modified crops. They were banned in Europe for a lot of years because Europe has better consumer protection laws than the United States. But really, even though we've been eating it for so long, and a lot of people were really worried about what's going to happen, there hasn't been anything terrible that's happened to human health because of genetically modified crops. And so we do have positives and negatives, but it is not the big horror story that people thought it might be 10 years ago. Going on to 265, there's nothing we need to know on there that we haven't discussed already. And turn to 269. So the last part of this chapter is sustainable food production, and this gives a lot of solutions for local support of food. So here are good things with locally grown food. Going to a farmer's market or even places like Whole Foods where they have locally grown food is great for a lot of reasons. The farmers get more money. Even if they charge you the same as you would buy at Albertsons or Vaughn's or Ralph's, there's no middleman, so they can sell you the food for the same price and they make more profit, because when they sell you an apple for $1, they get that $1. But then when they sell to Albertsons, they might get 20 cents from Albertsons for that same apple, and then Albertsons charges you $1 and Albertsons makes an 80-cent profit. And it's not complete profit because they have to pay the employees at the store and pay for the rent and the heating and the cooling of those apples. But when you go to a farmer's market and you pay the farmer directly, they get to keep all of that money. Less air pollution if you buy local and in season. So if you are eating grapes in the winter, they are most likely from South America, from Chile in particular. And it took a lot of fuel, a lot of fossil fuels on boats or on airplanes getting that food to the grocery store for you to buy. This was not always the case. We did not always get to eat anything we want in any season. Grapes you ate in the summer because that's when they grow here in the summer, not in the winter. And so it was better for the environment, and it also tasted better and was more nutritious. So here are some things that are examples of sustainable agriculture. In some places, in some towns, the roofs of buildings, they're building gardens on tops because they get a bunch of sun up there. It's a way to get local food in the middle of a big city. Page 270, here's other solutions to sustainable agricultural practices. On the AP test, you will have to write about solutions of some kind on some topic on the AP test. So if they ask you about sustainable farming or food production solutions, you had those locally grown examples, and you have here some sustainable agriculture practices. So using manure or legumes or compost. Soy is a type of legume, so planting soy will raise your nitrates naturally and phosphates. Soy, legumes is nitrates. The other ones have nitrates and phosphates. So manure and compost is nitrates and phosphates. Legumes is just nitrates. You can raise or lower your pH naturally by adding lime, which is limestone, not the limes you eat, limestone, which is basically phosphorus, to acidic soils, and it makes them more basic. You can also add sulfur to alkaline soil, and with water it creates sulfuric acid, so you can lower your pH that way. And that's it for chapter 10.